Yo, what is good, everybody? What is good? So, Sword Art this week wants to go ahead and show us that they know what they're doing, and not only do they know what they're doing, they got so much more in store. Holy crap, I just got bodied. They seemingly have so much more in store than we actually uh, well, I actually predicted, and it comes in the like what the person who, let me think, what is, I can't remember his name, but he's the first, he's like the highest ranking person, really kind of putting up something that I didn't expect from the show so early, and I'm gonna get more into that a little bit later. But from what I can tell, these show like when this show goes into these things like that, like there's such more meaning to different things that can continuously happen with how Kimito and this other kid that he's been, rolling with this whole time. There's so many different ways that they can now go about, learning and continuously grinding in the sense of honing their skills and just learning in particular. Just there's too many things that Kimito pretty much named out that gives the vibe of this being a 100% game, and the leveling system, the reasoning why he couldn't um hold the freaking sword that he had, all these different things that were coming up, like they all seemingly make a lot more sense because there's rules, or like there's things you need to, abide by before you can even get to a point where, you're capable of doing all those things, and let alone doing them at like a young age that Kimito, is doing these things at, where people have never even heard of. um I mean, they heard of it, but like what Kimito and practically his brother has done at this point, his best friend, they have gone and leveled up. Like they have leveled up to the point of, becoming masters of sword, like actual sword skills and stuff like that. So to do that and to believe that they wouldn't get any flack for it, was funny. But Kimito expected it kind of, in a sense, because I mean, the way he reacts to everything, he kind of reacts the same way to, a lot of stuff. Like he just doesn't really enjoy people that can straight up, act the way, like as not ignorant, but as, you know, evil or just condescending as they did this week. Like, oh, these guys are farm people. They don't know how to hold a sword and this and that, but here they are, training at the same place as you, and you're still, you know, putting them down like that. So it made a lot of sense to me that people like this exist. Um, and at the same time, they are already like trying to find a way to get at Kimito and get at, this kid, in the sense of they uh, they were just talking trash at first, and then they've come to find out that they have a garden, that they're doing all these other things like learning, getting extra lessons from the girl that pretty much is the Azuna of this show, that is actually super, super clean uh, with the whip for some reason. It's kind of like a weird mixture. It's definitely their spin of making it not Asuna. Like, I don't think Asuna's ever used a whip, nor would she want to. So that's something to think about. And the other thing is, none of these characters should or be, based on what Kimito knows. It's more of a factor of they are based off of, people he has, like they feel like people he has fought against, or, you know, um, for instance, The first guy now who really wants a piece of Kimito for, I guess, getting his shirt dirty. I'm not sure what he's actually doing this for, but we're gonna learn next week. But if people hated the way JoJo ends, like this felt definitely like a reminiscence of a JoJo episode. Just, oh, we're about to get Kimito using his brand new sword that even a swordsmith made it, and when he made it, he said it got heavier after it was made. Like, bruh. Like, you know what I mean? Like this was definitely one of those episodes where they're just like, haha, we got you. Thought you were gonna see something even crazier than you already saw. Nope, got you. And I'm okay with it. It's easy for me to be behind this show because I didn't even expect to get Sword Art anymore. Like, only thing I seen about Sword Art is negative, and to continuously get these quality of animation and these quality of, you know, just Kimito going in, Kimito growing as a person again, like in a world that he almost feels like he's been, changed or altered, which you can clearly see, or he clearly has when it comes down to his actual age and stuff like that. So to know that we're going to get like a very sped up story of Kimito's, it feels crazy. Like at any time can Kimito, with this sword now anyway, become so much better with his skill because of his at least like his imagination of believing he could win, or getting in a fight and knowing he can win, compared to having a wooden sword that can't do any of his follow-up attacks, which we learned that if a sword is not capable of, like keeping up with the high level swords wielder, then that's how it's gonna act. And I thought that was really cool too. There's just so much in-depth information that they're throwing at us in this show that I feel like it's going to definitely play a line. Um, that's what Sword Art's always been good at. They always teach you things that Kimito himself will exploit, and that's just because of how smart of a character he is in these moments. Because not only does he think on the fly, he actually is one of the people who, could actually teach every and anybody almost, the most important things that you need to have to be strong, to be uh, a relatively like broken character. So I can't wait to see like what people get to actually witness in this fight, because I mean, being a Sword Art fan and of just like the anime and like the manga, I haven't read really much of the manga, but I seen some stuff in the manga that was pretty cool ideas, and kind of sad they didn't come. But other than that, which we could talk about in the comments if you actually care. Um, but other than that, the animation always looked so good to me that it was hard to um, go against, like that animation, that clean, crisp feeling. Like there might be some drop offs here and there, but Sword Art's probably the most cleanest anime to be doing it. That started the clean, like that made it look like people who weren't doing clean, they just weren't trying. Like they're like, oh well, this is how you guys feel about anime. You guys just want to make it look all dirty and stuff. Okay. Sword Art was really the first one for me that came out and was like, yeah, we out here, we do this. You're gonna be thinking about our animation while watching stuff that don't even look like anime. So just really interested in where this storyline's going. I could care less about like any criticism people want to give to the show, or that they want to put upon anyone who likes the show or enjoys it, because everybody's gonna have their likes and dislikes. It's just if you can voice your opinion on it, on something you like, and can get the word out. I think that is more helpful than anything than, getting your negative opinion out. I mean, that is helpful as well if it's an honest negative opinion, if you're not just trolling. But with how Sword Art has been treated in the past, that's why I'm so surprised to see this now. And to be able to give my honest opinion while it's actually live and going and it's not, the show's not already done and my opinion doesn't really matter anymore. Uh, it feels good to have an input on this, but will my voice get heard over a lot of other people's? Probably not. But that's the whole point of doing this and trying to get a community of people to be honest. I rather hear your honest opinions than, the opinion of people that you hear from. I want to hear what how you feel about it and what you think about it and stuff like that. So, thank you so much for even tuning in. I will talk to you guys in the next one. Sword Art really showed us all these new characters that are like sword master level, and we're in a world also that has like goblins and, like there are people flying on dragons. So if they're capable of doing all these different things, when, like, who and what is like, who's the strongest of everybody, when we know that this upperclassman is pretty strong, but he's just that. He's just an upperclassman, he's not like a royal guard or anything. He's just still a kid, a trainee. So who are the even stronger people than these people? How strong are they going to become? Kimito getting to see this one-on-one through pretty much is the old school Kimito that just love and adore, because this man is so cocky, it feels like, bro. He's like, oh yeah, he's the first, and this is gonna be with real, like, this is gonna be my first time sparring with real weapons. Cool, let's do it. Whatever he wants to do, I'll do it. And that's absolutely nuts to me. Just thinking about, like, imagine he was losing. He's never beat the girl once, and this girl is actually terrified to go against this man. And Kimito's like, "Oh, I can't wait! Like, it's about time I get to spar with this guy and handle my business." So, can't wait for next week. Let me know down below if you guys are excited for this next fight coming. Seems like the old Kimito is back, and he wants some vengeance for his senpai, because even she couldn't beat this guy, and it kind of makes sense now with all the taboo rules that Kimito has almost broken this week. That because she couldn't beat this guy, it's because he was doing taboo things just like Kimito and training on days he wasn't supposed to be. So it just goes to show you that if you do get to train like that, you can be stronger in this world. So breaking rules can help you surpass your own limits. Interesting, right? All right, everybody, take care and peace.